Welcome to Cloudbase Tips and Hints. I'm going to show you a little bit about how to ground handle. In Australia, we always face our wing when we're putting it up because we quite often work in much stronger wind situations. So I'm going to teach you how to hook in facing the wing, and then we'll go through some ground handling tips and hints. This method I've come up with, it's evolved over the years in order to come up with a scenario that when my A's are on top, I know I've done everything else right. I'll comb all my problems back from me to the wing so that my A's come to the top. This is how it's done. Firstly, I start with my wing all set out. I'll have my A's on top, my rear risers on the bottom. My speed system is also on top. Now, because I turn right to face out to sea when I've inflated the canopy, I'll turn these to the right. Then it's just a matter of hooking the risers straight into the carabiners. One side, then the other, make sure the gates are locked. Reach down, hook up your speed bar system. One side, then the other. Then I go back to the beginning again. Are my carabiners done up? Are the gates both pointing in? Then I slide my thumbs down the webbing. You'll see that I'm presented with the speed bar lines. Are the sister clips in? Are they done up? Then I'll have a brake in front of each hand. I grab them in both hands. I'm going to teach you to grab all the stop things so that in any case, if this wing was to inflate, I can always stop the glider by pulling on my brakes. So then I grab my rear risers. I grab my left rear riser. I then lay my right rear riser over the top. I disconnect my right brake. Now I have control of the wing by being able to kill it and pull it in. So if the wing does inflate, I do have control over it. My right hand has the brake line go over the back of it. I reach in underneath and grab my A risers and bring them to the top. Then I look up to the canopy and see that my A's are on top, unhindered. In the case that they were hindered and you do have a line over of some sort, you know that you've hooked up incorrectly, or you've grabbed your brakes upside down on the wrong side, or you've just grabbed your risers incorrectly. So in that case, then we drop everything. We come back to neutral. We can see this flat webbing down through here. Then I reach across with my right hand, grab my left rear riser. I put my other rear riser in my left hand. Brake comes over the back of the hand, reach around, grab my furthest A, my closest A, and then I look up to the canopy. Are my A's on top? You can see they are. Now I'm ready to launch. I step up to my wing, I recheck that my buckles are done up, my radio is on, my helmet is done up. You can do this all with your risers in your hand. Your next step is to build a wall. Just bring the wing up and down again, check that all the lines have no twists, knots or tangles in them. I like to scan the wing from left to right. That's how we learnt to read. So if you look from left to right across the wing, you'll see that there's no twists or tangles. So when you're pulling your wing up, lean back. Know that it's going to pull you up. Lean into it, lower your center of gravity. Pitch control comes from the back riser now. We can slow the wing down by pulling down on it. If the wing moves to our right, we steer to our right. If the wing moves to our left, we steer to our left. Only your left hand works, and it works quite violently. To fix any problems with your control, fix it quickly. Move your left hand out to where it needs to be. I like to call it going to the low wingtip. So if the wingtip closest to the ground is on my right, then my left hand goes to my right. If my wingtip closest to the ground is on my left, then I go to my left. If the wing starts falling out, you can pull your A's back to your nose and pull the glider back up again. Your right hand or your A hand only does up and down. It doesn't move opposite directions to the backhand. It's only your backhand that does the steering. Your right hand stays at your nose. Once you've got the wing above you and stable, we can release. We always release before we turn. So release and go to brakes. Now I can steer the glider by using my brakes. I can still step under the low wingtip, but steer it a lot more efficiently with the brakes on. Once the wing is then stable and above my head, I can turn and face out to sea. The glider will be a lot easier to handle facing out this way. Today I've got the luxury of my shadow. I can see what the wing's doing. If the wing falls behind me, I put my hands up. If the wing surges in front of me, I put my hands down. If the wing goes to my left, I step left and steer right. If it goes to my right, I step right and steer left. The next step to do is to go to what we call is rear riser steering. So I reach up, I grab one rear riser, the other rear riser, and I can steer the glider a lot more efficiently with a lot less movements and a lot less drag in order to get myself to the front of launch if I need to get forward. I'm not pulling on a brake, which slows me down. I'm just warping the shape of the wing in order to penetrate as best I can to get forward on a strong day to launch. We also use this technique for what we call is a strong wind landing. So we reach up, we grab our rear risers, and as we turn and face the wing, we squat a little bit. So we lower our centre of gravity, pull the rear risers down, then walk to your canopy. In the case of a strong wind launch, I like to just put one foot on my glider, drop all my risers, start with my carabiners, slide my thumbs down, check my speed system's hooked up, grab a brake, one in each hand, grab my left rear riser, my right rear riser, grab my A risers from underneath, then I can walk away from the glider. It's called popping it up out of the bag. In that scenario, I can just do a straight inflation and get the glider out so it's ready to fly. This next scenario, I'm going to get the wing to overpitch me and it's going to frontal collapse. This is why you need to use your left hand to slow its climb rate. Quite often you'll get a shock reinflation back near the ground again. So to stop that overpitching from happening, you need to use your left hand and slow down the climb rate of the glider. Police its climb, pull it up, slow it down a little bit, slow it down some more, let it go up slowly to get to the top of the arc. We can also do what we call is a Cobra style launch, where we'll launch the glider from one side in an arc to bring it over your head. I'll need to pull on the A riser that goes to my left wing. I'll need to have my left brake in my hand. As I pull the glider up, I police its climb with this brake. Left wing rises, a little bit of brake to pull it up over your head. I like the Cobra launch because it pulls the wing up across the window. If you do have a small collapse in the wingtip, shake your A's and D's until it's dislodged. The reason why I like A and rear riser techniques is if I pull the wing up and there is a problem and I don't like it, the easy way to get the wing back down is pull your rear risers in and your glider will come back down to the ground. Once your wing is on the ground, simply replace your brake toggles, reach beyond the triangular mailons and bundle up your glider. I like to do as big a loops as possible. As I get closer to the wingtips are actually closer to me than any others, and that's because the wingtip lines are a little shorter. I can just comb those wingtip lines away from you in order to grab a much tighter bundle. Throw it over my shoulder and you're mobile. Rear risers in my left hand, A risers in my right hand, little bunny hops to keep the wing inflated. I'm checking to see if there's any twists, knots or tangles. Lower my centre of gravity, A's come to my nose, left hand comes down to take the surge out of the glider, and then I go to balancing it. Wingtip surges one way, my left hand goes to the low wingtip. Wingtip surges the other way, I go to the low wingtip. I release, go to brakes, turn, face out to sea, steady the glider, brakes up, run, a little bit of brake to get into the air. To land, reach up, grab your rear risers, steering with it, lower your body weight, stand up, pull down, walk to your glider, grabbing wraps of brakes if necessary.